Good morning. Happy Saturday, y'all. Welcome to another What Else is Going On, aka We Go podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Saria. How y'all doing this morning? I'm up early this Saturday. Normally, depends on what's going on with whatever gig work I'm doing that day. If I'm having bonuses, child, if they're trying to pay me a little bit more, I'll be out and about. And then on mornings, when I have bonuses later in the day, I'll get up later. But I was like, nope, I'm getting up early. Child, wash some clothes, get some things, get to going before I get out in these streets. And I miss y'all. I literally was thinking to get yourself together. You ever had to talk to yourself and just be real with yourself, right? Sometimes it's all about planning and timing, and you are grinding. And sometimes I hate to use the word grinding because when I think of grinding, I think of grinding something down to the ground. And I don't want to grind myself down to the ground trying to build up what I'm working on, right? But I get it. Turn a phrase, I get it or whatever. But it's about timing, right? You feel like you got a good product, whether it's you with your social media, with your YouTube, with your podcast or whatever, and you're just waiting for the opportunity, or different opportunities may have come through, but they just didn't work out. And then sometimes you got to say, get yourself together. It's a balance between everybody deserves rest. For me, Taria, you've been working so hard out doing your gig work, doing this, getting to the money, doing that, that you deserve to come home and get on your phone and relax and mindlessly scroll. And then the other part of me is, but you want your YouTube to continue to grow. You want your podcast, you know where you want it to be. You know where you want to be, even with your social media. So get up, even though you're tired, and do it. So I battle back and forth with that. And I was listening to a YouTuber. Well, she started on TikTok. Her name is Diamond Nicole. She's actually in Baltimore. Some of you may follow her. She was a single mom of three, married with I think there was a 21-year age difference. She started posting stuff. She now separated, moved out. She's now divorced and doing things. And she just celebrated her 1 year of content creating. And she was saying how she went from 0 followers on Instagram to 147,000, over 300,000 YouTube subscribers, 450 some thousand TikTok, because she decided to post. And then she ran through her day even when she's tired. And I started thinking, well, she's stay at home and she works part-time on the computer. So making excuses. So I didn't feel bad, right? Let's keep it real. She was like running through everything she had to do because she's now getting brand deals and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, she has time to record the 6 videos. I'm out here driving. I'm out here doing this. And I said to Rhea, even though she's home, that don't mean she's not busy. I know that. Again, she works part-time. She has all these different things to do. She has 3 small kids. And I said, when I take my breaks in my car, I could be recording a video, but I'm scrolling TikTok to relax my mind. And then my thought is, well, the numbers might not do well. So what? I need to follow what's in my heart, and I don't want to get caught up in what's going to do well, what's not going to do well. And I'm want to tell y'all that too. Don't get caught up in making your first video or YouTube post or whatever it is you're doing. Sometimes I feel like, did I miss the wave? I started YouTube years ago and only did like 1 video, 2 videos. I can't get caught up in that. I can only trust that the God that I believe in is going to help me along this journey as long as I put in the work and stop making excuses. And I had to take a hard look at myself yesterday, like, no, you can definitely find ways to do more. So, last thing I want to say, I just want to give y'all some encouragement. Just came to me yesterday. So I had to go to the bank yesterday and make a deposit, right? My parents came into town because they were flying to go see my brother, his wife, and my new nephew in New Orleans, right? Because they live there now. So I'm their Uber when they come into town. I take them to the airport. I'm not far from the airport. So my dad, sent me a little change, for being his Uber. So I was like, okay, let me put that in the bank. So yesterday afternoon, I go to put that in the bank. So I'm at the bank and they have 3 lanes in the drive-through. I said, nowadays, people, like back in the day, all drive-through lanes had people. Child, now they do, or like the first person, because I used to work at a bank. First person had the teller, first lane the teller. The other 2 windows, the other 2 lanes, you could at least talk to somebody. Now they're just ATMs there. Fine with me, child. Fine with me. So I pull up to the bank. As you're pulling in, they have the ATM attached to the bank on the front side of the bank, where you go in to do your business. There's an ATM there. There's a line. I didn't feel like getting out of the car anyway. I pull up, do the drive through, three different lanes. The first lane with the ATM attached where a teller used to be, there's nobody there. Nobody. The next line, there's three cars that were in front of me. The third lane, there's three cars in front of me. So there's six people in front of me, and there's an empty lane. In my mind, instead of going to the empty lane, I said, oh, well, the reason it's empty is probably because it's not working. That's why everybody's over here. I don't want to have to get out of the line, go over there just to see it's not working, circle all the way back around the building and get back in line. And by that time, more than six cars will be ahead of me. So I'm sitting there, right? Even though my first mind said, go to that lane, didn't go. Next thing you know, I see a lady. She must have walked from around the front of the building, and she walks through the empty lane and starts doing her business. And I said, well, why ain't nobody else pulling over? It must be working. So I get out of line and pull over because nobody was behind me. So I was able to back up and get and pull over and just wait for her to finish her business. I pull up, it's working. I do my business and I'm gone. And I started thinking, sometimes we let what others are doing and thinking we're supposed to be doing that. Because clearly, if everybody's doing this thing over here and nobody's doing this, which is where I really want to go, I need to just follow everybody else. No, sometimes it truly is about taking the lane that you feel that you should take because you never know what's over there. Because I had already waited in line for about 3 minutes. If I had followed my first thought and just pulled up there like, oh, ain't nobody over here, perfect for me, did my business, I would have been gone. But it took for me to see somebody else doing it not in a car, a non-traditional way, right? Well, let me go over there too. And it was fine. And do you know about when I pulled out, those same six cars were still in line? I guess maybe the leaders that were at the ATM were having trouble. So I would have been sitting there. So I just thought, man, you really have to operate in your lane and what you want to do. Even if everybody is telling you, pick a niche for your content. You need to be studying this. Nobody's studying art history. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing this. Follow your first mind and first thought, and it will work out for you. All right. Enough of that. That just dawned on me yesterday. Like, to me, it could be something small to somebody else. Like Taria, the lane was just empty and you happen to catch it. True. But I let seeing a whole bunch of other cars in these other lanes distract me, or not distract me, but persuade me to stay over there, because if they're not over there, it must not be working when it was working the whole time. I don't know why they didn't go over there. So anyway, I say all that to say, follow your lane, no matter what it is. Just keep going and trust that it's going to work out. All right. Enough of that. Let's get into this. So I'm going to do a couple videos today. I will be, before my feet hit the ground out of this house, I will be taking my notes for this week's Miami and OC. And the video, at least one of them will be put up tonight. And I'm thinking maybe post the other one tomorrow. I've got to get down a schedule now that they're on Thursday nights together. I know I'm not going to put one out on a Friday. So maybe one out on Saturday, one out on Sunday, because then we have Salt Lake City coming in 2 weeks. I need to figure out what day that's going to be on so I can adjust my podcast schedule. Some of y'all listen to the podcast audio, and my days of posting were supposed to be Tuesday and Friday. Because of the housewives schedule switching, I don't want to be days later posting the episode. You know what I mean? So we are going to figure that out. We're going to get it together. No more excuses. But this video right here, let's get into Tamar and Funky Dineva. I've seen so much discourse, and even though I haven't responded back till I read a lot of y'all's comments about Funky. You know, some people feel like Funky should have left it alone. Some people feel like Funky shouldn't have spoke out in the first place after she did her post. Some people felt like Funky shouldn't speak out. Some people felt like Funky had a right to come out and defend himself once social media started saying he did something to her. Y'all, I saw some headlines and I was like, wow. The way the internet we all have our opinions, right? And we form our opinions based on what we see of these people. the part of their lives that they allow us to see, and patterns. Let's be clear. None of us know Tamar. I don't know Tamar in real life, but we've seen her on the Braxtons and when she was on Big Brother, her posts online, her beefs with people. And it seems like she's just a very dramatic person, like full of drama. Not saying it's always her fault, but it just seems like it feels like drama seems to follow her, right? We could say that. But there's other parts of her life we don't see. But yes, we can form opinions based on what we see. That's what we do. We're not saying it's fact. Let's be clear. And see, that's the difference. I can come to y'all with a story and tell y'all my opinion based on what we know, what people are saying, but it's an opinion. It's not a fact, right? The fact is that Tamar's posting online. The fact is that Funky Dineva is responding to her. But none of us really, well, I'm speak for me, because some of y'all may know, but I don't know her like that, nor Funky Dineva like that. But I do have an opinion and wanted to talk to y'all about and see what y'all think about the latest update in the story that was happening, I think, yesterday. I say that to say there were headlines about Funky Dineva and people were saying they should let it ride. But it's almost scary sometimes how no one everybody in this world, no one is 100% a fan of, right? 99.5% of people could be a fan of me. There could be 5% that's not, right? Vice versa, whatever. I say that to say, for the 5% that may not be a fan of me, if somebody says, Taria don't like kids, and here's why. Not, I don't think Taria likes kids. Taria doesn't like kids, and here's why. The 5% that don't like me are going to want to believe it. Now, you do have some people that may say, yo, I don't mess with her like that. But nah, I'm not getting that from that. That's being unbiased. But there are people, and I myself have to check myself and make sure just because you don't really see it for a person, don't just automatically believe everything you hear negative about them because you want to believe it because you don't like them, right? So I feel like with Funky Dineva, with his platform, people putting out those headlines about him, like not even if to me, even somebody putting, I think Funky Dineva tried to unalive her, that's still to me a bit reckless because I know if it were me and somebody put out a headline, Taria tried to unalive another YouTuber, like, is that grounds for defamation? Is that can I pursue legal? Because that is crazy. No matter how you feel about Funky Dineva or even Tamar, that is crazy. So let's get into the timeline. Is like, okay, I came to y'all, 2 days ago with a video that was pretty fresh. Funky Dineva came out, responded, basically told Tamar, you need to clear this up or I'm going to tell your business. I'm going to tell why the video came out. Tamar later on takes heed, says no matter what, he thinks I love at Miss Funky Dineva. But then she started saying little subliminal stuff. No, she wasn't saying his name. However, if I have a beef with you and we've started it through the internet, and then you go on to say some other things that could kind of fit in to our beef, I am, right or wrong, I'm going to assume you're taking shots at me. I read y'all the things that Tamar had said. You know, she started talking about she loved him. Then it was, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. She's moving on. Pisces, their bounce back needs to be studied or can be, or something like that. So it seemed to me that those shots were at Funky Dineva. Well, it seemed to him that those shots were at him. So he did a post and said, and this toothless Muppet is still bumping her gums. And then he put in caps, literally, with laughing faces. Cha. Right? So we see that happen. Then he posts, I'm a rich white woman. I have no job and nothing to do all day, every day. In caps, I have nothing but time. Is you finished or is you done? Since you the rabbit holding the gun. I said, now that was a little bit of a bar. For me, my opinion. He said, if you bad as you say you is, then shoot. His caption, when it comes to conflict, I'm just as petty as the next bee. That being the bigger person crap does not work. You stay quiet, I stay quiet. You say something, I'm going to say something. It reminds me of Candace. You got something? You got something? You got something? Okay. It's that simple. I woke up this afternoon and shots were fired, which was Tamar's post. I'm firing back. Anyone who's got a problem with it can kiss my whole anus ass. Are they the same, or is the anus the middle part? Or like where the balloon, not, well, I mean, sometimes it. Anyway, I'm childish, petty, immature, and messy, all rolled into one petite, small bike. You know how he says small back, smooth skin package. Then he released the text between them. Because remember, Funky, 2 days ago when he did his video, he said, listen, I checked on her. She didn't answer, was steady posting on Instagram. But then when I text her my concern about the growing legs, all of a sudden she responds and didn't see it. So, and he wanted to prove she saw it. She knew what was going on because she was online, because she tried to tell him I was recovering. And in his mind, he's like, you've been so you you trying to act like you haven't been online because you've been recovering, but you've been online because you've been posting. But anyway, so he texts her and says, this thing is growing legs. And it was a snapshot of a headline. Funky Dineva tries to unalive Tamar Braxton. So he says, this thing is growing legs. She says, what's this? I don't recall saying anything about you, babe. Let me finish. He said, it's been an ish storm all day. She said, I'm in the hospital. I'm confused. I haven't said anything. He says, okay, don't worry about none of this. Get well. I can weather it. The internet is just running wild with conspiracy theories. They saw us at V12 together, so everyone assumed I knew something. Then it turned into I did it. Now, mind you, okay, so let me go back. The beginning of that text was August 20th. He said, hey, child, how are you feeling? Is everything okay? Then she doesn't respond to that. But then he sent the description. It says, Tamar Braxton almost unalive by Funky Dineva. And then it gives the name of a video to watch for details. So then that's when he says this thing is growing legs. And she's like, what's this about? I'm not going to lie. I saw that, like, Tamar Braxton almost unalive by Funky Dineva. Girl, what? So clearly, she heard some of it. So then he said, don't expect me to be the bigger person. I stopped doing that 2 years ago. And then I think with Tamar's, some of the stuff that she was posting, I think we got into some of it in the video I did 2 days ago. Did all that hating and gossiping about me and still can't stop ish. I'd be mad too. She posted the rabbit got the gun. This might have been, I think this is what made Funky Dineva post. Quit arguing with MFs who are being used by the devil to disrupt your spirit. Every single. So that's what it was, I guess. Her subliminals, he felt. Quit arguing with MFs who are being used by the devil to disrupt your spirit. Then the rabbit got the gun. Did all that hating and gossiping about me and still can't stop ish. I'd be mad too. And then he released screenshots of their messages and all of that stuff. He felt like she was subbing him. Like I said, because he went to bed after she did her post about I love at Miss Funky Dineva, blah, blah, blah. He went to bed, he woke up, and I guess people were sending him this. Not only that, she took the apology down. IG stories last for 24 hours. She took the apology down, unfollowed him, and blocked him. So it's like, you took the apology down, didn't let it sit for the full 24 hours. Then you unfollowed me and blocked me. And then you're posting all these things. I am going to think reasonably that you're talking about me. What y'all think? So let's listen to a little bit. Funky did another video yesterday. Let's listen to a little bit of what had to say. I said, I hope this is it. For sure enough, do for her sake and really his. So let's get into this real quick. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit education or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. What are we doing? We are commenting. You can maybe call it pop culture. Oops, pop culture news reporting. All right. Let's get into we're not going to watch the whole thing.
I told you yesterday you was going to pay me for my pain. I told you yesterday you was going to pay me for my pain. See, you the type of person, you ain't used to having nobody around you to meet you where you at. All right? I'm equally as crazy. I'm equally mentally and emotionally unstable as you are. All of this was supposed to be put to bed yesterday. When I woke up yesterday, first person I got a call from, Tamar's publicist. Second person I got a call from, 2 other people in her camp that's in her business. Everybody wanting to know, what can we do to put this to bed? What can we do? Q, don't do it. Q, be the bigger person. Q, what we got to do? You know how Tamar is. Y'all know how she... Q, please.
That's one thing I cannot stand to hear. When there's a person with bad behavior and people around them justify it to you by saying, you know how they are, so just react different. Nah, that's not acceptable because you know how I am, or you'll find out how I am. I can't stand you know how they are type person. Nah, because you may let them emotionally manipulate and abuse you, but that ain't happening over here.
Please don't. Q, what we got to do? Q, we've been talking to her. Q, we try. My words to everybody was, why are y'all talking to me? Why aren't y'all talking to her? It would take 2 seconds
I don't know
to
why the
put
words aren't
all this to
matching.
bed. The only thing I was looking for was some level of acknowledgement from her that I had did nothing to her and that I had no parts of what she had going on.
By the way, she really didn't do that. She just said, I love at Funky Dineva. She never said, y'all, I love me some at Miss Funky Dineva. He did nothing to me.
All right. Now, I ain't no damn fool. We had to twist, move, bend her arm, and get an act of Congress for her to post a little post. And the post read something to the effect of, no matter what he says, I love Funky Dineva. And if I would have known what was going on while I was recovering, I would have said something. That was enough for me. That was enough. I just needed something to put the internet to rest about everybody with all these think pieces that they did, that I did something to you. The whole while you were fully aware that it was going on. The whole while you're recovering, you are on the internet posting, you're texting me back and forth and texting everybody else. You see this stuff. And I still gave grace. I said, okay, something happened to the girl. She's not doing well. I can weather this storm. I've weathered other storms. And at the very end of the day, to be honest with you, I was down in Miami having a good time. It really was not bothering me to that magnitude. Humans have the attention span of a gnat. It was going to eventually blow over. All right? Here is where things have gotten sticky for me in this moment. I ain't some old easily pacified ass bitch. So you posted in your stories last 24 hours. Somewhere along the way, the devil done got on your damn shoulder. You went back and deleted it, unfollowed me, blocked me, which I'm fine with all of that. But the thing is, these are all things that are easily traceable by the internet. These are all things that signal the soft apology or soft explanation was hollow from the get-go. It was never genuine. You never intended to do it. Your arms had to be twisted in order to do it, and you didn't mean it. Fine. What I'm not understanding is, why then the additional subliminal post? Like, why couldn't you just wake your ass up this morning and eat breakfast with whatever few teeth you had left and be done with it? Ain't no fun with the rabbit got the gun.
Yes.
Bitch, my voice is my PR stunt. All that years of gossiping and hating you did, and it still ain't stopped shit. Now, there's a world out there where people can say, Funky Dineva, but she didn't at you. She could be talking to anybody. Say that shit for y'all, mama. Don't come over here fucking playing with me. In what world are two people in the middle of a disagreement, the other person starts posting stuff that fits the mold of the disagreement, but they're not talking to me? Go play in somebody else's face. She's talking to me, and I'm talking right back to her ass. And Tamar, here is what I didn't say over the weekend, what I should have damn said, and what I said to your damn people. None of this would have been if you wasn't so thirsty for attention. In what world do people have emergencies at home and they run to the internet and that's their first? Oh my God, guys, I had a medical emergency.
Now, I'm going to say, I can agree with him on that. There are people that share their lives, right? For me, I know on my other podcast, I would do the podcast episode, and a lot of them would be shaped around my life and different things that happened and, you know, how I got through them or whatever, right? And even over here, I try to incorporate that with not just talking about celebrity gossip, celebrity news. I like to share some of myself with y'all. Because for me personally, that's just what I like to do. I can see if there's a content creator or even let's say a celebrity that feels like they want to be open with y'all, right? I will say I am in agreement with him. Like that's the first thing you do is come to the internet because you hadn't even gotten your teeth fixed at that point. I can see if you decided to take pictures, document, and then once everything was good, come out and tell your story. But to go to the internet first, but who knows? Maybe she went to the internet second. I don't know.
I woke up in a pool of blood. Let me go post it to the internet to stir up all this damn frenzy and then leave people with no details.
Yes.
You like this type of shit.
Yes, that's the thing too. Don't come over here and then don't say anything. It's like, so like what happened? And people say they don't owe us that. But they want us to know something. They want us to know. She wanted us to know she woke up in a pool full of blood, missing teeth. Right? So it's like, yeah, you don't owe us, but at the same time, you come out with not all the details. Now, granted, she did say, I don't know what happened, but it wasn't even like I'm going into surgery. I'm gonna keep y'all updated. It was just boom. And then speculations went wild.
You like all this sympathy and speculation and gossip and all of this type of shit. You like this type of shit. I don't. None of this would have been had you just been normal and patched yourself up and went on about your business. You are the only person on the planet something medically happens to them before they even heal. You run into damn Instagram stories to post something. You set all this shit in motion. The folks come attacking the shit out of me because y'all know fucking ain't on drugs. He must have gave her drugs. He must have did something. The videos are coming and coming and coming and coming. I even send you the screenshot that says, girl, this thing is starting to grow legs. That was your cue to say something.
Yeah, I agree.
And you were like, what? I didn't say anything. I'm in the hospital. And I'm like, fine, she's in the hospital. Leave it alone. Like, how many?
Y'all know we got to stop and go. In that moment, you're able to text me back. I would think she would stop and put up an Instagram story real quick. Y'all, I am in the hospital healing from the internet. I told her all about, but let's be clear. At Miss Funky Dineva did nothing to me. That's my friend. Y'all need to dead that conversation.
Days was I supposed to just sit back and let these people eat me alive for doing something nefarious to you, and you were not going to come forth and say nothing? I gave your team so many various outs. She can just write, I love you, Funky Dineva. That would just clear the air. Let people know I didn't do nothing to you. Not that I honestly think any reasonable person thought
Right.
that I did something to you anyway, but still. And then in the midst of your recovery, you gonna drop the music video to further make it look like all of this was a stunt. Oh no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm not participating in that. I got ate up all weekend as a result of you running to the internet to tell some shit that did not need to be told, and you finna pay me for my pain. Your team broke my phone down yesterday. What we got to do to put this to an end? It's really nothing to put to an end. Just tell her, let the people know I didn't do nothing to her, and we good. Honestly and truthfully, after yesterday, I just knew a couple days was going to go by, and child, we'd have been back going to dinner or slapping five or whatever the case may be. I never really was that upset about it. I was just like, damn, friend not going to clear this up. I just wanted it cleared up.
Now, I am going to say this. When he said, I thought we would be back slapping fives out to dinner, like, friend, you're not going to clear this up. I get that. Even after coming to the internet, then back, I get that because it seems to be there are some people that function like that. But for me, either you have to put a person in the box that they're in as far as friend hanging out or whatever, because if you know my secrets, or in his first video, he said, I protected who you're dating, I protected your medical history. So no, he didn't say it, but it was a threat to put out there. And we've seen Funky put out Quad's business in the past, yada, 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 who's good, his good friend. So I'm saying that to say, he thought they would be back slapping fives and going out to dinner after threatening to expose her. Not just, girl, you need to come out here and say something because you know I ain't do nothing to you. Don't play with me, girl. I know the games you like to play. Even that, I still would be like, But he went to the point of almost, I'm going to tell it, I'm going to tell it, I'm going to tell why your album came out early, which would then lead us as viewers of this video to believe, oh, something is going on. It wasn't supposed to come out this early. For him to say, I'm going to threaten to tell why your video came out this early. I know I was like, well, tell it, friend. Like, I mean, clearly there's something to tell, right? So that to me was kind of like, there are some people who do operate in what I would consider a toxic-ish kind of friendship. Now, there are people that you may think are toxic, but they fun to hang out with. So they surface. We surface. We have fun, go out. That's my party friend. Or I know we going to have a good time and we like to go eat, maybe gossip a little bit. Not none of my stuff because I don't trust you like that. But it's that surface friend. But clearly he knows some of her tea because he threatened to tell it, but then he thought they was going to be back slapping fives or whatever. I'm just saying.
Now all of a sudden,
Yo, I guess we is going to watch the video, the whole one. There's only 4 minutes left.
the block, the unfollow, bitch, what I did to you? Let's have that conversation. What I did to you? I'm the one whose reputation is getting ran through the mud. What did I do to you between yesterday and this morning that got you mad? What did I do to you that got you blocking me and unfollowing me and sending subliminal posts? And all of y'all on the internet, y'all can kiss my ass with this man arguing with a woman. It's a show is. A piece of man, a half a man, a wannabe woman, a trans man, a sissy, a punk. I'm all of them things at the same damn time.
I agree with him. I don't like the narrative that women can't argue with men. I have friends that are guys. And if me and them get into an issue, I don't expect my husband to step in. I don't expect him to step in when me and my girlfriends get into an issue. So even on like the housewives, to me, I think it's so wild to think that a woman is going to drag my husband through the mud. Somebody that you know and that's interacted with. And if we're supposed to be a group of friends and he can't address you, I'm not saying he got to be aggressive with it, but he could say, yo, what's the problem? I've never done anything to you. So that whole a man can't, that is so, we talk about being in a misogynist world and We know we need to move past that. That's one of the things. Men can have disagreements with women, and adults should be able to talk that out. So I'm with him on that note.
See, you might could go play with all the rest of them and play up in their face, but you not finna play in mine. And I'm here to tell you, every single time somebody send me a post that remotely feel like you subliminally talking to me, I'm gonna hop my ass on this YouTube and make another $5,000 off of a video off of your ass. You gonna pay me for my pain. You gonna pay me for my pain, and I mean that. Oh, I'm finna get my whole Miami trip paid for off your name. He
I'm
clout
manifesting
chasing
that
me. I'm finna clout chase your ass straight
for
to the
me.
damn bank, cause you gonna learn today. In the words of Ray Charles, you got the right one, baby. You got the right damn one. You got, oh, sister, you don't met your mic. You don't met your mic, baby. So, again, to you and to your team and to everyone else, I thought it was done.
Yo, I just realized something. That's teeth. I kept looking at it. That's the tongue and that's teeth. Oh, all right. He said he was done. I accidentally exited out of the video, but that's fine because
I
he
told you
he was
yesterday
done. Wait,
you was
he was done anyway. But hold on, let me see. I think this is because this is what he said at the end.
do that, or if you would like peace, as you said you would, we can do that. But I'm gonna back your ass the fuck up off me today. You gonna leave me the hell alone, and you gonna stop posting shit, talking to me. You got the right one, baby. The choice is yours, and the ball is now in your court. Do with it as you will. Choose wisely.
I said, okay, so oh, child, okay, see ya. Let's get into her dentist. Tamar's dentist has come and spoke out. I want y'all to hear a little bit of it. I'm not going to play, I'm going to tell you what she said. I'm not going to play the whole thing of what she said because there's a lot of music behind it. But if you have a weak stomach or if you're eating breakfast, don't watch this or wait because I believe they're showing her teeth and her gums. Okay. What happened? I wasn't prepared when I saw it. So I want to show y'all real quick. I got this from Straight No Chaser TV. So I want y'all to see. Because I had listened to it earlier in the day, but I didn't realize that there were pictures. So let's go.
Amira Ogunleya, and I am a cosmetic dentist out of Miami, Florida. I was recently contacted by Tamar Braxton's team who reported a very traumatic injury.
Now,
she woke.
This is where I'm going to stop. So basically, she says, I just want y'all to really pay attention to the pictures. Tamar woke up in a team full of blood. Too. This is her mouth. One of the teeth had even came out of the root. So she confirmed she, in fact, had several fractured teeth, even had a false tooth. Look at that. Child, Jesus. So that the whole came out. So, and she had a fractured septum. So they were able to perform immediate oral surgery on her and were able to stabilize her. They recommended she contact her medical doctor because of a deviated septum. Because remember, she said her nose was fractured. She did that. And in fact, Tamar did have a deviated septum. But did y'all see that? To wake up like that with not just your teeth cracked, but it actually disconnect. Child, the internet will be the last place. I haven't been in that situation, but I think the internet would be the last place. Um, and she also, yeah, I would be. She also says that they've deduced it to her sleepwalking. So she was sleepwalking and maybe she fell. But yeah, her dentist has said that they have deduced it down to her sleepwalking. prayer of healing for Tamar, her mouth, her nose, her soul, her mind, everything. Do y'all feel like at this point, I'm sorry, I was just looking at a picture. They were showing your tooth. Oh, if your tooth comes out, put it in milk or saline. That way they could save it and possibly get it directly back into the socket. So if you could store it in milk or inside the cheek of your mouth, you want to keep it moist and go to see somebody immediately. So that's a tip. If something happened and it fall out, milk or saline, or if you could put it in your cheek and your mouth to keep it moist and get to a doctor, a dentist, immediately. Do y'all think, for those of you that felt like, oh, child, I'm just looking at them pictures. See, my brain captures things. Oof, my mouth is getting off. Child, I'm gonna have to eat a mint. For those of y'all that saw the first video that Funky did and said, I feel like he had a right to speak out, he should defend himself. Do y'all feel like he should have stopped there? Or because he felt like Tamar was doing subliminals, do y'all think he then had a right to come back and respond? Or do y'all feel like he should have just left it alone all the way around? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Hopefully this is the end. I promise you, if they are back high five and slapping five, again, some people operate in toxic cycles. And to them, it's not toxic. It's we got past it. So to each his own, God bless. But y'all let me know what y'all think about everything. Again, Tamar, praying for y'all teeth. But the way he was dragging this lady, Lord, talking about eating breakfast with the few teeth she had left, I think she's all fixed up now. I got to go though, because my mouth is getting that sour feeling, y'all. I feel like I'm about to throw up thinking about those pictures. And let me click out of this because it keeps playing on rewind. I'm about to throw up on YouTube, and that would be not good. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I'll be back in a few minutes. I just want to talk about some quick Bravo things. See ya.